What is going on, guys? So it's been a little while since I made a video. I didn't think my videos were, that popular, but I've actually been getting a lot of questions lately. I wouldn't say a lot. I've had a couple. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've had a couple of questions. I'd say like maybe 4 or 5, right? But the main one that I want to touch on right now is, sorry, I'm driving home from work, is an MOS question, because this is actually a really good question. Not that the other ones aren't, but this one is really good to make a video on and to explain. So the Marine Corps, you cannot choose a specific MOS and get it. I don't care what your recruiter tells you. I don't care what anybody tells you. Like, it's not gonna happen. Army, I do know Army, like if you sign the contract that says 11 Bravo or whatever, like that's what you're gonna get. Marine Corps, not that way. It's the needs of the Marine Corps, and you will hear that a lot out of your career. You can be changed in your MOS. It doesn't happen that often. It depends on you and, once again, the needs of the Marine Corps. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Alright, so the basic way that goes with you, or that you would choose your MOS, right? Your recruiter should have some categories, a little booklet, and it'll tell you, so 01, like if it starts with 01, so 0100 is going to be like administration. 0300 is going to be infantry. 6000 is going to be in the airfield part. So that's like the main category, right? So that's like the main header. I'm going to use infantry as an example here, right? Because most people know a little bit more about the infantry. It's a little bit more out there. You see t-shirts with like 0311 and crap like that, right? So the infantry, right? They have the main category, which is 0300. Put that out there. And then you have an 0311. And that is a like basic infantry rifleman, right? And then you have like I don't know it, so don't like kill me on the actual numbers here, but let's say you have an 0332, whatever, or 0331. That's like a machine gunner. Okay, all right. And then you have like a 0342, and that's maybe like a person that's over the people, or like, I don't know, how do you say that, whatever, a freaking, not a chief, anyway, somebody over that like little squadron, or that like little unit, right? So they have different subcategories within that one big category, right? What you're gonna do is, of course, you have to take and pass the ASVAB. Your ASVAB it has a lot to do with which MOSs you can get. So you can also talk to your recruiter about that. You can pick an MOS, right? So you can pick, hey, I want to be in freaking administration accounting, right? That's what you want to do, because you want to come out and do accounting after you get out the Marine Corps. Makes sense. It's a good job to come out with, right? But if your GT score isn't high enough, pretty much, like if you don't get a high enough score on it, they're not going to put you in the MOS. They're going to offer you something like Motor T. I know Motor T has one of like the lower ones, as well as infantry, of course. So that's also going to kind of restrict you. So you want to actually make as high as you can on each category of the ASVAB because of that reason. I actually scored kind of high on my ASVAB, but of course I'm older, I've had college, things like that. There's reasons, I have experience, like there's reasons that I got higher on that. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your recruiter. Let's say that you did get a really good score like I did, and I went to him and I said, hey, I want to be either in administration or in supply. Number one of my focus was, I want to be able to come out of the Marine Corps with a job that I can transfer into the civilian world. To some people that's important. Some people, they don't care. I'm 28, it's something that I care about. I'm trying to make the Marine Corps a career. If I cannot do that, I want to take something away from it, right? So I told him that I wanted something, in admin or in supply, something that I can use, bringing it out. They said, okay, we'll put that's what you want in your contract. Now, at boot camp, sometimes, depending on what MOS you're going for, you also have to pass extra qualifications, okay? So, for example, I'm not positive, I want to say this girl that I was with in boot camp, she was like combat camera or something like that, and she actually had to pass an advanced swim qual. She didn't, and they ended up putting her into another MOS. Like, she did not get the job that she wanted. Pretty much there's slots like available because the Marine Corps is constantly, you know, shifting people out and having rotations. The Marine Corps is only allowed so many PFCs in one MOS. There are so many, you know, lance corporals, corporal sergeants, whatever, in one MOS, right? They have quotas, if you think about it. So every quarter or every so often, like, these jobs open up, and then that's what your recruiter will tell you that is available. If they're a good recruiter, they're going to be honest with you, and they're going to go, hey, sorry, just like they did with me, that admin job isn't available, that supply, you know, job is. So you can get into the generic supply field. I'm like, bet, okay, let's do that. Put that on there. Luckily, mine did not come with any extra qualifications. So I was good to go on that part, no problem. But you also have to go through like background checks and things like that. So, let's see, I wanted accounting, right? Supply accounting, that's what he had me down for. That's what was open at the time. And I had to go through like a background check. I had to go through a financial check. I had to go through everything. And I mean, they get detailed. They pull your credit report. Let's put it that way. They pull your credit report and they will ask you what everything is and stuff, and if you've ever defaulted and stuff like that. Needless to say, with my criminal background, I did not get that supply accounting job because they also have to think about, will this Marine, due to their financial situation or due to their criminal history, will this Marine ever have an issue with possibly taking deals or bribes and selling information, things like that. That's not the only thing, but they just stray away from putting people with a criminal background or debt or things like that, or too high of a debt. You could just be in debt because you own a house, or you know, you own a car as well and you're paying on that. They won't put you in that situation either. So a lot of things go into this. Anyway, needless to say, I did not get my supply accounting job. Even though that's what I was shooting for, they still kept me in supply. They gave me another MOS, which they ended up announcing at the end of boot camp, right? So, get another MOS. They just told me I was going to be at 6672 at that point. So it was kind of locked in, and I've been at 6672 ever since. Now, with that being said, there's a subcategory to the subcategory, to put it in like basic context, I guess I could say. So now they went, hey, you were a supply Marine to the airfield, because I'm in the 60 field, the 6000 field, right? The 6000. Breaks it down again. Not only am I in the aircraft, I'm in the supply. We now have different departments in the supply for the aircrafts, right? So there's going to be different supply everywhere. You know, freaking infantry is probably going to have a supply somewhere. You know, they got to supply weapons, right? They got to supply other stuff. So they have different stuff. Anyway, there's different departments within that field. So my 6672, there's like 5 different departments. There used to be like 7, I think, or 9, and they just now condensed it. So I could be in the warehouse. I could be in administration. Actually, there's a supply personnel and administration division. I'm actually in OMD, which is like a management division, and there's something else. So it also pays off to be number 1 in your class, or number 2 in your class, or high in your class. So everybody that I know that was higher in their class, and more mature and things like that, actually have more of an office job. The ones that don't pick up on things so quickly, aka kind of not as smart, nothing against you, they put those people pretty much where they can kind of put anybody, where it's easy to pick up, it's easy to do, it's easy to follow. So yeah, I'm actually sitting at a desk pretty much dealing with kind of like technical research of supply documents and stuff like that. So I'm doing something a little different. But if you're catching on what I'm saying, not only am I in the aviation, I'm also in supply, but now within supply, I'm in with something else. So ultimately, it's hard to pick exactly what you want to do, is what I'm saying. You have to have an open mind. Do not go open contract. So that is something that I definitely don't recommend, because once you pick that kind of field, like how I said I wanted supply, that at least kept me in the brackets of supply, if you know what I'm saying. As long as you pass all your qualifications that you need for your MOS, you pass your schoolhouse with no problem, stuff like that, you know, they're gonna keep you in that supply, or they're gonna keep you in that administration, stuff like that. So I mean, obviously I don't think that, I mean, I think that's what happened. I don't think that they wanted me in supply accounting with my background and with the debt that I was in. Not that it was necessarily bad debt. I just had student loans, I had credit cards, I had, you know, a car, I had stuff like that and whatever. So and they also, I think, pulled my wife's. I think they pulled my wife's as well and asked about her stuff, and there was stuff that I couldn't even answer on her. So yeah, like, even though I didn't get supply accounting, they still kept me in supply, if that makes sense. So think about what you kind of want to do. Like, okay, I'm good in the admin field, or I'm good in the supply field, or I want to be like combat camera, you know, things like that. You can be combat camera where you're going out and taking all the pictures, or you can be combat camera and you're going to be like in that part where you're printing the pictures, you know, things like that. And you may be able to cross train and stuff like that. Like, technically, I can get moved out of OMD at any point in time. I've seen it happen because somebody wasn't picking up the process as fast as they wanted, and so they moved them out into the warehouse. I already have been told that there's people that want to take me from OMD and put me in another situation. Now, that's a good thing, because I'm actually picking up, I'm doing well. It's a good thing at this part, but my point is that you can be moved at any point in time. So I hope this answers some questions. I hope I didn't confuse you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, especially specific questions. I will try to drill down deeper into what you need to know, because these are things that I didn't necessarily know whenever I started. I just knew kind of, hey, I wanted administration, you know, things like that, or whatever. So yeah, definitely ask me any questions. If I don't know, I'll get in touch with somebody that does know and that won't lie to me. So that way I can get the information to you. Also, to add in there, I know that it is possible, not saying that it happens 100% of the time or even 60% of the time, I don't know, but I know that it is possible, like after 2 years of the job that you're currently in, you can actually put in a request to be transferred to another MOS. You will, of course, have to go back to MOS school and things like that, but if it's something you want to do, you know, by all means, go ahead and do it. So, let me know if it helps. Sorry this was kind of a long video, but I wanted to explain the situations that you can kind of go through, and I don't want you to get screwed in the end with that. I want you to understand that you need to do the best that you can possibly do at everything. Don't think, oh, this doesn't matter. Don't think that swim qual doesn't matter, or the advanced. Yes, it does, because your MOS may require that, you know, and things like that. So just make sure that you do your best at all times. Let me know. I'm here for you guys. I'm going to try to make more videos, and hopefully a little bit better than just me in my truck on my way home, freaking 17:30 at night, where it's dark as crap and you can't really see. Like, I know this isn't ideal. I know this is probably kind of boring, and it's not fun to necessarily look at my face in a dark area and watch me drive around, right? So that's all I have for you now. Let me know. I'm here for you guys to get down to the truth and provide nothing but facts. If it's not facts, I'll tell you that's something that I may not know, or it may not be true, or for example, right? Peace out.